Hey, what is up, folks? This is your boy Johnny Bnq coming back at you with another episode of the Bnq and Goof show. Try to keep it short this week. Before we start, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, check out all the links to our other content in the description. Getting right into it. There's not a whole lot of really big stuff going on in Philadelphia sports right now. Again, next week's going to be the Super Bowl for Philly. I believe they're still a 1.5 point favorite in that game. The lines kind of went back and forth, I think, for a little bit to start out. But I think that's more or less what it's settled on right now. Which I think is good action if you're an Eagles fan. Because we don't know what the health condition of the, Chiefs are going to be for next week, because they had some injury problems last week in the AFC Championship game against the Bengals. They had, Travis Kelce wasn't 100%, obviously Patrick Mahomes wasn't 100%. I believe that a couple of their wide receivers were out. I don't know what their status is. Of course, I don't really keep up with their injuries, but I think if they're a depleted team like that coming in next week, and if we got everybody at 100%, because I think we're finally getting some of our injured guys back healthy. Obviously Jalen Hurts, who's injured at the end of the season, Lane Johnson, CJ Gardner Johnson. We got all those guys back for the playoffs, and so hopefully everybody's. Obviously there's still some guys we got hurt, but we got a pretty good amount of guys. Getting healthy. We're not 100%, but as close to 100% I think as we can get right now. And if we're at that level and Kansas City is depleted as they were last week, then this could be. I'm not going to say we blow them out or anything like that. That's going a little too far, I think. But there's a chance that we could get this one pretty well. I think we could. I think we could definitely cover a 2-point spread or whatever it is. So if you're an Eagles fan, I say take. And if you're dead set on making a bet, I would make that bet. And of course, there's a lot of Super Bowl special bets that are out there. Some of them are a little crazy, but you can make some good money on those. But other than the the Pro Bowls this week, obviously there's 8 Eagles that were selected. None of them are there, obviously, because they're going to the Super Bowl. So, it's nothing really to talk about there. I don't think they're even having a Pro Bowl game anymore. I think they just do a bunch of silly games or something, which is cool, I guess. I don't know. Pro Bowl is kind of, nobody really cares about those activities, I feel like, anymore. Same thing with the All-Star game. In basketball, same thing with baseball. Nobody really cares that much, I guess. So, it is what it is. Tonight, the 76ers play against the... who was it? The Knicks. They're playing the Knicks today. They are minus 4-point favorites. The Knicks are... where do they? They're the 6 or 7 in the East right now. Actually, I don't actually think I've looked at the standings in a while, so I don't know what our standings are. I know we're doing pretty well lately. So hopefully we get it's always good to get a win over the Knicks, whenever we can. But I don't think the Flyers are playing today, or at least not that I can think of. I forgot to check if they were playing today earlier. I just noticed that the Sixers are playing, but it doesn't matter. But there is some big news that happened this week on the Drexel basketball front. Drexel's men's basketball team ended up beating, who was it? College of Charleston, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but they were actually ranked this year. So, and they were the league, the conference leader in the Colonial Athletic Association, which is the conference that Drexel is in, obviously. So they were the conference leaders, and it was a big win by Drexel, big upset, because they had lost 2 games in a row at that point. So they come back and get the win, and it was kind of a short-lived, kind of high a little bit, short-lived hope, because they lost last night to, who did they play? Monmouth, which Monmouth isn't a bad team, and it was a close game, so it's still too late to really say, they're out of it, I guess. But still, it's going to be a long road for them to finish strong. Hopefully they do finish strong, and I think being able to showing that they can beat a team like Charleston shows that they have at least a possibility of winning a conference championship and therefore making it into the NCAA tournament. So that's what we hope to see. But we'll have to wait and see. There's still a lot of what do you call season left, I guess. But that's really all I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to just get a quick show in. There's not a whole exceptionally large amount of stuff going on in Philly sports right now. But there is one other thing, actually, now that I think of, that I wanted to talk about. That's not really a particularly Philadelphia related, but as far as I'm aware, it's probably one of the biggest NBA kind of storylines right now. I mean, I guess it is. I can't really think of a bigger one off the top of my head. But anyway, Kyrie Irving has requested a trade from the Brooklyn Nets. So this brings a question: should Kyrie Irving come to Philadelphia? Well, there's a couple different questions that you got to ask about that first. First of all, what would the compensation from Philadelphia have to be to Brooklyn? Because you got to remember, Brooklyn's like our conference, a division rival or whatever. But, so how much are we going to really have to give up to get him? And would he fit in here? Number one, I don't know that they would even ask for that much for Kyrie at this point. They might just want him out of their hair, in a way. Kind of how we just wanted Ben Simmons out of our hair last year. I mean, we still got a pretty good deal. I mean, we got freaking James Harden in that deal. So, but, I don't think we really have as much leverage at this point. There's really nobody I want to give up on the team to get him. I'll say this about Kyrie Irving. He's a great player. Forget about what you think about his personality or off the court or whatever. That's a discussion for a different time. But he is a great player. Now, would he fit in Philadelphia? I don't think so. I mean, we have Tyrese Maxey and James Harden at the 1 and 2. I don't really see a place where he could fit in unless you put one of the 3 guys as a 6th man, which none of those guys are really 6-man material. I mean, not that they wouldn't be not to say they wouldn't be successful. I'm just saying these guys are number 1 option type of guys. Kyrie Irving is a number 1 option scoring point guard. James Harden, obviously, a big scorer, distributor. He's leading the league. He doesn't technically lead the league in assists, which that's another thing. He's a big, snub for the All-Star game. And really, Joel Embiid's a big snub, too, because they put him on the reserve team when he deserves to be a starter. Because he's a freaking MVP frontrunner, if you ask me. But, anyway, I don't think Kyrie's a good fit on the team. I don't think that there's anything we could really... Unless they just ask for him for nothing. They just give him away for nothing. But even then, I don't know if it's worth it, because I don't know if he'd really gel. Because I think we're just finally getting... we're getting everybody healthy, and we're finally gelling. And, getting to a good kind of space with the direction the team's going. Because, we kind of struggled with injuries early in the year finally got everybody back. Finally got the team firing on what looks like, full cylinders. So I don't think it'd be a good trade. And honestly, I don't think Kyrie would like it here. I think there's too many. But anyway, well, we'll see what happens with that. We'll see if he goes. I hope he goes somewhere in the Western Conference. That way we don't got to deal. Or no, we don't got to play against him or whatever. But that is all I got for the show today. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for supporting the channel. I already said at the beginning, but please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel. Again, check out our Patreon, our Twitter, our blog. Links to all of that is in the description. Also, our merch store. We're going to be adding new merch by the end of the week. I don't know what time it's going to be in there, but make sure to be on the lookout for that. Thank you one more time. Thank you for listening. Let's go Eagles. Let's go Sixers. Win their game tonight against the Knicks. Let's go Flyers. Let's go Drexel. And life rips. Bing bong.